What's up, guys? How was your flight in? Hopefully you aced the landing. But dude, look at that weather. That's amazing. I'm gonna pick up my space projects, and boy, I do have a lot of them. However, I'm aiming to finish all of them by this year. Now, most of you probably know by now, but last year kind of reimagined this entire area. Now, I did many videos about all the work that I've done here so far, so I'm not gonna go into detail in every one of them, but basically I just removed the crap ton of trees, removed absolute crap ton of dirt, then we hauled in gravel, dumped it in its place, and we built this sawmill shed. This wasn't here last year. That's pretty cool, actually. I think this project came out pretty good, but it's not finished, hence why I'm making this video. This is actually the first thing that I need to do in order to finish my spaceport. Now the biggest challenge right now is making like a huge concrete pad on this area. Right in front of the sawmill itself, I want to have a concrete pad, but not just for placing logs, I do have some alternative goals for that pad. If you guys remember last year when I was washing my equipment, now I don't really have like a permanent spot for washing equipment, so I basically just wash them in a pile of in a pile of pure poo. So my goal with this pad would be to install like a permanent washing station into this location. So I could drive to the concrete, wash the machine on concrete, all the crap will be disposed on concrete, and then I would just scoop it up with the bobcat, dump it where somewhere away from here. So doing that pad would be goal number 1, and it's big because I need to also keep in mind that I want to wash these two there as well, in addition to my other equipment. Now size wise, the Girovets is probably the biggest machine I will ever own. I don't think I'm gonna go anything bigger than that. It's just huge. So I'm gonna make the pad to barely fit the Girovets. And also the concrete probably needs to be deep in order to support Joseph, because that thing weighs 16 tons. That's a lot of tons. So I'm not really sure how thick the concrete needs to be for that. Now another goal would be to install some type of a permanent water collection system, and I want to do rainwater collection. Now currently I'm not sure on which side I'm gonna do the collection setup. Now, at the moment the rain gutters are configured to flow there, but I can change that if it's... That's not a problem. Maybe I can put it on this side. It will actually make more sense being here in a corner, not in the middle of the shed somewhere. But I'm gonna iron that out later. Concrete pad would be number 1, rainwater collection system number 2, and I think as of right now, I think that's it, unless I come up with something else. Now other goals that I have with the spaceport is obviously the firewood shed, which I have mentioned many times, and on the tractor shed I'm planning to actually renovate this building as well. I want it to be like a proper tractor repair shop or something like that. Because the building has a high ceiling, so clearance is not that big of a deal. But basically I just want to renovate the building and also build some type of a roof on the side to give me more cover for stuff that require cover, I guess. And all the stuff here right now is basically junk, maybe apart from the waste oil. But honestly, I can relocate all this stuff. It doesn't need to be here whatsoever. I'm not sure about scrap steel collection though. It would be great to have like a giant metal box for that. But then again, if it gets full, I'm gonna get rid of it. With these things, I can at least pick them up with Bobcat and put them on the trailer. But I think that's about it. And let's just kind of get to work on this video. I'm gonna get rid of those two quickly. Then we can figure out how big the bed needs to be. Need like something. Maybe a small chain maybe. I think I'm gonna make the bed sit a little bit lower. I was thinking that if I make it the same height as that, then the drop here is gonna be like, I don't know, this high, which is probably like too much, right? But I'm not sure what the dimensions are gonna be, because that stupid power line is probably gonna mess everything up. And no guys, I can't relocate it. It's too expensive. I have to, you know, the power company won't do it for free. They will not bury this line for free. Actually, I have to pay like 10 grand in order to have this line buried underground. And I have to pay it out of my own pocket. It's just too expensive for me, and I'm not gonna do that. So I have to do something else. I'm gonna go grab my spray bottle. Maybe we can figure this out. Yeah, the Giramets is roughly 25 feet long. This is gonna be huge. Why do we have the beak so big? That is unreal. It's basically gonna cut that part off completely. What about the width though? Maybe I don't have to make it so wide. Well, actually, that thing is wider than the Giramets, so maybe we should. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It has to be here at least, minimal. Then that leaves me like a small gap, you know, to drive through in order to access my attachments. And technically I don't have any business back here with any other machinery than Bobcat, and that's a wide enough space, I guess. But for logs it would be better if the bed was wider, not so narrow. So maybe from somewhere here I'm gonna make it a bit wider again. Woo! That's gonna be big. Maybe too big. But I think it's worth it, you know. Clean the machines, stack logs for sawmilling, maybe even park something on it temporarily, you know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this right now. I mean, it's a lot of concrete though. I'm not sure how I'm gonna manage that. Whatever, let's cry about it later. I'm gonna bring this end down a bit. Too much material here. I think this is pretty good. It's still grading away from the shed, but then again I realized maybe that's good. You know, like a driveway. You want the water to drain away. If I made it level and flat and nice and all, it's gonna probably pull up on the bed itself. But anyway, next up would be formworks. However, first I'm gonna put some rock down. I have a couple of boxes of rock that I want to get rid of, so I'm gonna put that down, and then I'm gonna go over the entire area with my homemade roller over there. apply too much grease. These suckers just, they go down by themselves. Need some rust in there. Piece of crap.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna fit.
Nope. Maybe it'll work. I mean, there's pretty decent tongue weight on the link. Maybe it'll work. It's like a little rock road. Look at this. Very nice. Nicely squashed all that rock into the sand. Works pretty good. Might break the fork though. That was kind of making a lot. That guy was making a lot of noise. I'm kind of curious if I made the concrete pad the same height as that one, how thick the concrete would be, like somewhere there. Holy hell, man. Already here it's like half a meter. No way. I won't be able to afford that much concrete, even if I mix it myself, which is probably gonna take like 2 years at least. $65 centimeters. That's actually insanely a lot. I think I'm just gonna make the grade a bit more severe going down. I just don't want to bring extra material here. For example, if I fill this area in more, like this much, and then add that concrete on top, I'm just gonna have like a wall here. What am I gonna do with this side? I need to bring extra fill to this side as well, and just then continue going. And I don't want to bring any more extra material here. I'm pretty happy how this layout is at the moment. So let's just make that stupid grade a bit more. Sneaky spy. Look at that. Okay, so this will be my final layout, guys. You know, I almost have wasted an entire day thinking how how to do this, and I think this layout will work. So this will be the bed, concrete pad, and it will be grading downwards. The height, the depth of the concrete on that side I will do lower, and I'm thinking about 20, maybe 25. And on this side I'm looking for about 35, 40, something like that. Now in front of the bed I'm going to install some type of a ramp, which I'm also going to make out of concrete, most likely. On this side will be like a wall, and here I'm going to have my little driveway to the attachment center. And that's about it. I think this will work. It's plenty wide enough for even Joseph. And yeah, let's get to work. Haven't done anything yet. Anyway, this thing came definitely lower than I first imagined it would be. But I don't think it's a problem, to be honest. I figured I can hammer pylons to the corners, right? For example, take like a pipe and hammer them into the ground. This will support the edge, so Joseph wouldn't break the edge off. So currently I have about 35 in that corner, about 23 in this corner, which is the lowest one, and everything else is between 20 and 30 basically. I think that's fine. Pretty solid floor, honestly, and it's gonna have a pretty decent grade as well. Not sure how much you can make it out of the video, but pretty decent grade there. Then again, that's not a bad thing. I think that's actually good, maybe. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go make a lot more of those sticks. Dude, I need a lot of them. First, I need to support the entire formwork, and then I also need to do some center passes, because I can't bore this entire thing in a single, I don't know, bore. I need to do sections like I've always done. Then I can at least, I don't know, do it. Okay guys, so I know this is very confusing right now, but just try to bear with me. I'm gonna explain in a moment. One word, guys. Basketball. Basket freaking ball. Or is that more than one word? I'm not sure. What matters is that I suddenly remembered my third goal for this pad, which is to have a personal basketball court. Dude, I've always wanted one. I think I never mentioned it before, but I always wanted one. Although I'm not really a basketball player. When I was a little dirt, and I used to play all the time, but not anymore. Got more important things to do. Like, instead of going to play basketball, I just need to build my own basketball court. Told you. More important things. And that's why I redesigned the setup. Because usually those things are, you know, level. But this is still not level. Did like a very slight grade that way. So I'm guessing the difference is like less than 20 millimeters from there to there. That should be enough for rainwater to nicely flow away and not pool on the pad. And also I did a little compromise. I lost about 1 meter and 10 centimeters. Currently the thing is 7.5 meters long. Joseph is a bit under 6 meters long, and Kirovets is a bit under 7 meters long. So I guess this will do. I just figured that if I filled all that with concrete, by the way, haha, good luck with that. But if I filled all that with concrete, the ramp is just gonna be insanely long, and it's gonna still undermine my passage through this area. And just imagine the ramp will probably start from somewhere here. It has to be, it can't be very super sharp. It has to be pretty, you know, lenient. And if the ramp starts from somewhere here, then, well, if it was in its original position, which I planned before, the ramp would actually start from somewhere here instead. That is just too insanely big. So I decided to cut it a bit shorter. I think it's fine. It's still like 70 what is like, yeah, 70 centimeters of concrete here. Dude, this is gonna be a seriously thick wall. It's just crazy. But you know, no way out at the moment. I think this is the best option I can pick from any option from this situation. We're gonna figure out the ramp situation after I bore this slab. So that's like a separate thing entirely. This alone is huge amount of work, and I'm not sure how long it's gonna take me. But to ease my pain in order to make the concrete, I'm obviously not gonna make this entire formwork myself. Well, I will, but I'm gonna fill it with something. So I will need to make so much material. Luckily, I have those little dudes over there. Say hi. You're gonna be part of my basketball court project. Or was it the wash platform project? Dude, I'm gonna achieve many projects with this single project. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go make those sticks now. Hopefully no more plant changes. Guys, I got a better idea. You don't be shocked. It's very normal. But it doesn't require any plant changes. So I'm gonna quickly support this side and that side. I'm gonna leave that open for a reason. It's part of the new idea. Give me a moment. Need more screws. Okay guys, so the change in plans. Actually it's not very significant. Instead of rocks, let's put concrete waste here. Dude, I do have a little bit of that. I'm just gonna pack this area with concrete waste as much as possible, but leave gaps between the waste so the new concrete can gonna glue everything together, you know. I mean, I have a little bit of waste here, stuff that I technically don't need. You know, I can throw all that stuff in there. And on the new plot there is this wall, this giant concrete wall that has collapsed right there. So I can try to grab this one with me, fit it in the box. I mean, why not? By the looks of it, it's not very deep and it's not very heavy as well. I'm pretty sure Janmar should be able to maybe move this. No, if not, then we can invite Joseph out to play, but maybe that's not necessary. So yeah, let's go grab that concrete waste and try to reduce the volume. Look at that, guys. It's like a carpet. It's actually planted somewhere. Transporting dirt with forks, and I thought I've seen everything. Yeah, I'm gonna go ask the supervisor where to put this crap. Okay, basically Supermom told me that well, she asked first if I was on crack or something. Basically, she doesn't want that stuff, so I'm gonna, I don't know, put it back where I found it. By the way, this stuff, this is what was used previously when we did not have line belt or anything like that. So they would pick this and then put it between the logs in order to insulate log houses. That's the original way. Anyway, feels like a lot of work. I kinda underestimated the size of that hole. I clearly don't have enough waste concrete. Might need to bring the rocks anyway. We should probably repurpose this as like a beach chair, you know, relaxing chair out in the sun next to the ocean. built that guillotine crap, man. Bobcat all the way. Much better way to remove trees. Man, pretty stuck in there. What the hell? I wonder how much concrete I've already made today. Feels like quite a bit. Saved some dollars. Booga booga! Wish I had a bit more. Would be great. And this junk is a bit of a mystery. Like, I haven't found any other pieces like that. But no, I'm gonna go look. Just like a quick look. Maybe I can find anything else. Now, if not, then I have to bring in a load of rocks to fill it the rest of the way. But even this, dude, this is just a lot of concrete that I don't need to mix myself. More of that concrete, waste concrete nonsense. There's 3 more pieces there, but they're a bit bigger than this. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to carry them out. And they're not concrete, they're these mortar bricks glued together. But mine, let's go try, maybe we can do it. This is sort of like you know, watching those giant loaders in the marble mines, right? No matter how big those machines are, for like 20, 30, 40 tons, they still can't lift those giant blocks of marble. It's kinda like that, maybe smaller version of it, but kinda like the same situation, right? Honestly, I'm amazed that this thing can't even lift that thing. Gravitat short, right? Look at that, guys. All that concrete waste will go to a good cause. And I don't know how many tons. How many tons is that? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a half. Okay, let's say 12 times 900 kilos. So that's like almost 11 tons already bored. Look at that. No, this is fine. I'm just gonna throw some rebar on it and bore everything else that will glue all this mess together, and it's gonna be fine. But anyway, next up, I'm gonna quickly close the front end as well. Then we can focus on the lighthouses. Music. hoping for more. Maybe this is enough. It feels like there's a bunch of rocks down there. Thing won't go in whatsoever. Now that should provide a pretty good support on the edge, although considering the thickness of the wall there, I think it's not going to be a problem whatsoever. Plus, while I was hammering these pylons in, felt like there was a rock every 10 square millimeters. Oh, kind of pissed me off. At least I got some of them in, but still feels like I'm missing something very important. Yes. I mean, nobody came to pick that up, guys. That piece of art. Nobody showed any interest. Although the listing was only for like the entire value of Earth and then some. But nobody showed any interest. So this piece of art, I mean this sad story about an old guy who liked hot dogs and to smoke marijuana, he's gonna be locked away inside concrete forever. Nobody will know the story. It looks like I'm missing some. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that. I'm gonna go get them tomorrow. I need to buy cement anyway. But maybe we can. We still got some nice daylight left, so maybe we can at least prepare for the bore itself. I mean, I'm missing just a couple of things. Need to build the. Gotta build the lighthouses. order to make lighthouses, oh, by the way, I don't really know what the proper word for them is in English, but in Estonian they're called majakad. So the direct translate from that would be a lighthouse. But they probably have some type of special name in English. So and that's about it. Now you just have to, fill a section and smooth it out like that. The filling part is gonna take forever though. Currently I'm not sure how much I'm gonna save by making the mix myself, but at this point it's just a huge boring job. No guys, I mean it, it's a very boring job. It's gonna take several days to fill this, but as long as I can get my mixing set up ergonomically set up, then it's doable. I definitely don't want a big material from ground. It has to be at waist level minimal, so you don't do any bending over, just kind of standing straight entire day, moving like it's like a dance basically, moving like that entire day. So I think I'm just gonna time lapse this part. It's gonna take some time, and we'll see if it's worth it. Maybe it's not even worth it anymore. Guess we'll see. Let's get to work. by the way, guys, I got a confession to make. So I kind of got tired of well, time lapsing. So the picture will continue in video format. Okay. Yeah. I had a little chat with the guy and he told me that he doesn't filtrate this stuff out at all. He just kind of digs it from the mountain. Just look at that, man. That's just perfect. Wish my borrow bit was like this. My issue is that I have too many rocks inside the sand mix. Actually, maybe this is too sandy to use as road base, but for mix, I think this is pretty decent. But guess I'm getting there. Yeah, I'm definitely getting there, yet there's still a lot to go. I'm gonna try to get like a thick base finished first, something like I have here, and then when the final layer will come, at least then I can smooth it out a bit. Right now I'm just focusing on the base. And I would say like most of the material is already bored, because that end was the deep end and here it's a lot less deep. One issue though, the hardware store where I've been hauling all that cement, I basically bought it all. They don't have anything left. Or maybe like breadcrumbs at this point, a couple of bags, but basically they're out. So I may need to put this project on a little hold until I can get some more. Yeah, the little chute that I built works pretty good, honestly. It does help out a lot, and almost like a bit over half I can reach, but beyond that it's just very hard to shovel the concrete any further. And I don't want to make the chute any bigger, because that thing, the concrete will not slide off it anymore. It's just gonna stay stuck there. But right now I'm gonna get that chute over there and fill that also as much as I can. Then it's the wheelbarrow's turn. We all see. Oh, by the way, guys, are you curious of a very good hint? You know, when your bands are broken, for example from the front end, then just put them on backwards, see? Then the hole won't bother you so much. And the only sucky thing is that every time you bend over, the other side reveals itself. I'm gonna get back to work now. There is still a lot to do, and I'm already on my day too many. Oh, by the way, guys, wanna see something funny? You know, I can't really put my finger on it at the moment, but there is a joke there. There is something there. It's like a special bile. It's not finished yet. It's far from finished. No, that store really needs to order more cement. I need it. I need it all. Ei kukkusin. Sita sisse raisk. Oh, by the way, guys, I have another great tip for you. And if you need to go and take a leak, then there's that. But whenever shoveling that nonsense into that barrel, make sure you use both hands. I mean, not at the same time, just kind of switch. Like, do half the bucket with your right hand, do the other half with the other hand. You don't want to build up muscle in only one arm. You know, people might get the wrong idea. And well, nobody ever will believe your story. I mean, what is your story even? Hey, I just shoveled like 20-30 tons of sand by hand into a mixer. Dude, nobody will ever believe that crap. Just make sure you switch, okay? Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I mean the other way around, sorry. Just use both hands, okay? It's very important. You don't want the people to get the wrong idea. You know, just FYI, I've never made so much mix by hand. Not even close. And dude, I'm not even close to being finished yet. But getting there. Definitely getting there. Look at that. That is just amazing. So beautiful. The sun is giving its last energy to stuff that matters. Look at that. Would be great if I got some sunlight here, but no, we have a stupid log mountain in the way. Oh well. Okay guys, I'm gonna call it a day, another day. Whoa. Ooh. It actually looks pretty cool. Hopefully it's not gonna rain tomorrow. How much would that suck? Snow. No, this is much better. Great news, guys. I guess the winter is coming back. That means we'll get another vlogging episode soon. Because I don't have enough vlogs. Let's do something here. should take care of that business. And for a minute I was wondering how I'm gonna join these two slabs together. I even thought that maybe I'm gonna put like a piece of foam in between the two so they can separately move. Because they will probably move. But I think this is fine. Just pour them together. They will probably crack up though. But maybe they're not gonna walk away too far. Oh, by the way, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This guy over here. I mean down there. Yeah. You're probably wondering how has this piece not broken off, right? I mean, considering the weight on it and all. And actually the concrete, it goes deeper. It's just, it looks a bit not so deep from this perspective, but actually the concrete goes down a little bit, but not far, maybe like 10 more centimeters. The key here is those pylons. The same deal that I hammered in there. Now, into the corner I hammered maybe like 10 pylons, half a meter into the gravel. And I think that's what's holding it. That's what's holding the corner from breaking off nicely. I assume. It kind of makes sense, right? Because considering the thickness of concrete at the corner, I don't think it will be able to hold anything. It will just kind of break off, but it's holding that thing. No problemo. I think it's the same in all four corners. Yeah, pretty much. Nothing has broken off. Those pylons really work. I think even in skyscrapers they use those things. They just hammer these giant I-beams or something like that into the ground and then build a skyscraper on top of it. That's like the foundation, which will carry the load to bedrock even. But anyway, kind of got off topic there. Got that finished. I think that should work. Next up, I need to start hauling in concrete, and I think I wanna utilize my wheelbarrow for that. I'm sorry, I mean the chute. I'm gonna try to patch that up. Something definitely broke. That should work pretty good. However, I'm thinking maybe I should try to get the mixer a bit higher off ground. Right now I don't have any, but like very minimal lean. It's basically level. See guys, it's basically level. And who even looks at those numbers anyway? It would be great if I had any more of those blocks remaining. But no, I had to hide them all there. Good news, guys. Found more of those blocks. They're a bit smaller though. However, on a plus side, they were not produced back in the Roman days. By the way, I also found a piece of rebar and some old spring. More armor points for the helicopter pad. Actually guys, Santa Claus came for a visit yesterday and he looked at that and he's well, he paused for a moment, looked at me and asked when's the chopper gonna arrive. I assume he thought I'm gonna buy a chopper or something like that. But I think we can call that thing a helicopter pad, right? Probably too small for a space pad. But a helicopter might work. But anyway, I think we can continue. Bet it's gonna be another week until I finish, unless something goes wrong. But I think first we should go have a bit of fun. Yeah, let's go on a little adventure. It should be fun. Kes selle kuradi kivi siia toppis, täitsa debiilid. But anyway guys, we're going on a little adventure. A little dance off. It's about as weird as it sounds. This is not weird at all. So the story is that one of the little devils is actually going to a dance school, and they go to these competitions, or well, maybe it's not like a competition, it's more like a bunch of people just dancing, you know, on a stage. So the day she will also perform, but I think I'm gonna be late for her performance, sadly. Just in case though, I grabbed the trailer with me as well, because maybe I can score some cement while going to the city, you know. 2 birds with 1 toilet paper roll. Why not? Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly swing by Supermom's and maybe put on some more appropriate clothing. What? I'm sorry guys, I assume you said something. Yeah, sadly I missed the little devil's dance off. But maybe there's something else to look at there. I already paid for the ticket, so might as well go check it out. What a view. Maybe. Yo, I'm starting to think that both guys also going to the dance off. Been following him for a while now. Bye, Mr. Boat. Maybe we can find another one. I kind of feel bad now, you know. I'm late like 1 hour, a bit more even. Stupid ass concrete pad. Should have left earlier. Where do I even need to go? Here. This BMW guy can't really bark for anything. Gonna be died. Well, bro.
Aitäh tantsijatele ja ma palun meie järgmised 3 vahvrat läksid 224, 225 ning 226. Aitäh armsad tantsijad! Järgmisena ma paluksin platsile numbrid 227, 228 ning 229. Ja 346 ja 217. Kohtunikele siis ka teadmiseks, et 217 tantsib ühe korra veel. Ja kui kõik on laval valmis, siis ma paluksin muusika. Aitäh ka teile! Ja nüüd kõik, kes ei ole veel saanud tantsida, võivad tulla platsile, leida endale koha ja näidata, mida kõike vahvad nad oskavad. Palun!
Sa pead sinna platsile minema. Üks ta prügib kassist. See ei ole tüü. Mida sa tahad kana?
No nii, sõbrad, siis kes ootavad kõik auda.
Teeme asja põnevamaks. Kui ma ütlen 0, siis te jätate kõik stoppi või siis võtate ägeda poosi.
Jookske üks liik ja jõuab tagasi. Teine üks.
Tegin sulle suusas koonad.
Ei saa. Ahah, aitäh.
Need tõõged, tulge koju. Tulge ikka tantsides.
Kas sa plaksutad kruigile tantsijatele? Täpselt nii, proovime korra seda ja aplaus! See on jah hästi oluline, sest kujutate, kui mina läksin üks tantsija, kes tuli üksinda soolot tegema, ma tegin esimest korda ja võib-olla siin on ainult mõõtate. Tiis, jah? Nõus? No nii, aga vaatame, kuidas me siis selle autasumisega alustame enne seda, aga huvitav, mille alusel meie auväärtsuri liikmed, reetelised kuldid!
Ilusa tantsutehnika ja musikaalse eritegemiste Natali, Leiter, võimased filiaalid.
Well, that was fun. I only fell asleep. I was about to say that I only fell asleep like 76 times. Minimal. But I'm gonna go try to have about an hour until the hardware store closes. Maybe I can score some cement. I mean, that's the main reason why I came to the city, right? Right. And hopefully they have something. Eight bags, guys. Better than 0 bags. Yeah. The guy actually had more, but somebody hasn't picked it up, so they can sell me that stuff. No, not that though. It's just maybe like 10 bags. At least this trip was not utterly useless. Better than nothing. But let's get back to work. Still have buttloads of that to do. I'm almost out again. Maybe I should start begging for cement on the side of the road. Here we are shoveling sand again. Oh, add some water, man. Be honest, guys. This is a lot more important than a bunch of dancing. This is a lot more important. Secret ingredient. Okay, that's not worth it. Look at that, guys. Would it be weird if I said my little baby is growing up? Probably, right? Probably super weird even. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this up tomorrow again. Maybe if we stopped going to dance-off concerts, then we'd actually get this thing finished. What do you guys think? But you know, I can't really do much of anything at the moment. We only have so much cement left. At least I got one section finished. Actually, I'm very proud about that, considering the amount I've already done. But still, there is quite a bit left to do. So I'm quickly gonna exhaust my cement pile. I think I have like 10 bags here, something like that. And then we just gotta wait. Oh, by the way, check this out. Told you guys the winter is coming back. This is not very good. I'm sure you if I can get water. Okay, well, the party is officially over now. I'm out of everything. Actually, I still have a little bit of that cement stuff left, but the water is just empty. Line is just completely frozen solid. I checked. The block starts from somewhere here. So there's no hope of getting any water through that line for at least, I don't know, 10 hours plus, probably. That's a pretty long line as well. I tried really hard, guys, but I just I can't produce enough spit to keep my water needs up. See, it's just completely shooting blanks at the moment. Maybe if I drank an entire gallon of Dr. Pepper, then we can produce something, but not right now. So you just gotta wait now. I don't know. Oh, about the dance thing, guys. Actually, no, I needed to cut a lot of that dancing out. I only left the breaks between the dances and yeah, when I was messing around with the gigs, you know. At start I figured only the music is copyrighted, but apparently the dances themselves are also copyrighted. You know, the choreography. Give me a moment, okay?
Choreography.
That thing. Choreography. Wow. Choreography. Dude, that is just beyond my expertise. Too complex, man. But yeah, the dances themselves are also copyrighted, and I can't show that in YouTube, sadly. I don't want the YouTube police to screw me over now, do we? Hopefully we're good. I think I'm just gonna go, I don't know, shave my stupid beard. Maybe things will be different then after I return. You know what, guys? I'm gonna go grow my beard back, because this is just pure BS. See you soon. What the f... Tere, ma tegin korda selle. This is not gonna work out at the moment. Smells like work. We should really stop stopping and continue working. Work. Work. Work all night. Stealing making concrete and stuff. Just remember, guys, nobody actually knows what the part 3 is. But part 4 is always profit. So part 3 doesn't matter. Profit is more important, right? Makes sense to me. türa, aga kuidas sa pärast selle plaadi kätte saad, kui sa siin betoneerid sitpot ka kinni? No ei saa ju, kuidas on kõik kinni sinna? Speak English, dude. I can't understand anything. What a mess. But I'm gonna take a little bath, wait for this thing to cure up nicely, and then we'll debate. Be right back. Guys, never use different screws to make a formwork. That sucks. It just sucks so badly. Mine putsi, ma proovisin teda juba. Nüüd töötab ja nüüd töötan. It just sucks. Look at my booty, guys. Oh, by the way, that's a great example how not to weld plastic. Unless you have a torch near you and nothing else. Okay then, well, I think we need to go do some math now. Yeah, let's go. That's not important. That is not right now. Math. So I think let's divide this into two categories. Well, after going through all that nonsense, we can gonna do some comparisons, which, well, rather, is it worth making the mix yourself or not in 2025, at least in Estonia? There may be some other countries, like Cuba, for example. Maybe their concrete doesn't really cost anything and they pay you to take it away, but who knows? So at least in Estonia, we can compare. Okay, so all in all, I know how much I made by weight. So from there, we can calculate all the other crap. So all in all, I made about 60 to 65 tons. That's metric tons. I'm not sure if it's the same as the unicorn tons. I'm assuming so, but that's the amount we made in weight. I know, guys, it's insane, but let's go with those numbers. So a quick Google tells us that concrete weighs about 2.4 tons per cubic meter. From there, we can calculate the amount what we needed. So let's go with 60. Let's not go to the 65. Let's stick with 60 and divide that by 2.4. That's 25 cubic meters of concrete. However, let's refer to the concrete as mix because I don't want to call my concrete. Now, if I do that, then I'm going to be butchered in the comment section. So let's just refer it to the mix. So total, we made 25 cubic meters of mix. Now that's not the entire volume of the bat there. Actually, we did haul in a bunch of rocks and concrete waste and stuff. So actually, the total volume would be somewhere, I would say like 60 plus. Maybe we hauled in over 10 loads of waste, maybe like 12 tons plus 2 boxes of rocks. I don't know, ton. So okay, so the total weight is like 73 tons. But let's refer to the amount we made with the mixer. So out of pocket, how much did I spend? Very easy. Number one, cement. Out of pocket, I bought. Okay, so out of pocket for the cement, I paid 1,100 euros. Now, as for sand, I ordered 3 loads. Well, I had 1 load and I ordered 2 extra. And for that, I paid 220 euros. 3 water was free. I'm not gonna count for the work time, but I can note it down, which was about 8 days total, but 3 of those days were to prepare for the pour. So carrying concrete, making formworks, stuff like that. So let's just kind of say 5 days. 5 days of some work. Actually, guys, it's not that bad. I'm gonna explain later. It's actually pretty chill. Number 4. Cement, sand, work, and that's it. So out of pocket, is that like 3 euros? euro dollars. Look at that, guys. I did math in head. So yeah, this is the do-it-yourself mixy mix. Let's go with the good stuff now. Let's see what would have been and what would have not been. So 25 cubic meters is what I needed. It kind of depends where you order. From Tartu, actually the price is quite different, because from Tartu it would cost that amount before taxes, by the way, but from another city it would be that amount before taxes. So let's go with that amount because that makes a lot more sense. So 2,500 euros for 25 cubic meters of mixy mix. Maybe we'll call that concrete. So yeah, let's do that. Makes more sense. Another factor would be transport, because then that crap is not free. So one truckload in Europe would accumulate about 7.5 cubic meters of concrete. But to get 25, we need to divide that number by 7.5, and we have 3.3 truckloads. Now that's a bit of a tricky number, because I would need to order the fourth load as well, and I would get a bit more extra concrete left over. Or I can do a smaller load for the final pour, or final truck, I mean, sorry. So let's go with 4 times the transport, because 3 won't cut it. And one round trip from the plant, everything included, like how much the truck has to drive, washing time, on-site time, everything is included in the price. So 4 times 160 is 640 for the transport. 640 euro dollars for the transport. I mean, from here you can already see the numbers are kind of starting to make more sense towards that end, right? But let's continue, because I haven't even added the tax yet. And that's pretty good in Estonia, if you did not know. Let's do that then. Tax, well, A goes there, X goes there. Don't mess that up. I think it's called the sales tax in Estonia, and if I'm not mistaken, currently it's 22%. I think. So 2,500 plus 640, that's 3,140 plus 22%. We get a number of 3,800 euro dollars. Dude, look at that crap. It's a huge difference still. It's more than 2 times. That's divided by what crap is the other number? 300. 2.9 times. 2.9 times. Dude, totally worth it still. Still totally worth it. The difference is just catastrophically huge. And I think I will just continue making my own mix from the foreseeable future. It just kind of makes a lot of sense at the moment, I don't know. I guess I got lucky that I have a sand or gravel mine like 3 minutes from my homestead. So the guy just kind of doesn't even ask anything for the transport. He only wants money for the sand. Well, we can also talk about a couple of plus sides for the good stuff though. I mean, obviously the mix is a lot better. It's stronger, it's stronger. And the other plus is time. And their surface quality, maybe. I have no idea what the crap that means. Basically, guys, what I'm trying to tell you is it's still worth it. But there are a couple of things that you need to know about. Very important things. Number 1 would be the mixing setup. I used that platform over there, and that was actually a very good place of operation. Now I could get a lot of material through the mixer at a pretty decent rate of speed. You know, just kind of loading, then unloading, loading, then unloading out of sand, no problem, sand is there, then just a bit more cement, more water, everything is kind of there already next to you. You just kind of dance all day long. You're doing a bunch of that nonsense, yeah. Now, most importantly, I would say the sand has to be at least slightly higher than your knees, maybe even close to your waist. Then you don't need to bend over whatsoever. You just kind of stay straight and move like that. The only thing that will kind of eventually start to show some signs of where are the arm muscles, because by the end of the day they will kind of quit. So you're just gonna keep an eye on that as well, and don't overwork your arm muscles. And you know, that's about it. You know, if the mixing station is properly set up, it's totally doable by hand. I would say that's the most important part, because this is by far the biggest concrete project I've ever done, ever, period. This is like 60 tons of material that I made through the famous German watery machine, Optimix Mix 130. That's a pretty decent unit, but it's not gonna last long, guys. Actually, the bearing is pretty much toast. All those sprockets or teeth need to be replaced. The drive gear pretty dead. I mean, look at that. But dude, this thing has been with me ever since 2014. Actually, even earlier than that. 2012 is when I got it. So 12 years. I mean 13 years, sorry. And I've been actually thinking maybe I should fix this up. I did look up parts, and it's not really worth it, I think. I mean, parts alone for this thing slightly over 200 bucks. And I actually ordered a different mixer for 260 bucks. And so yeah, it's not really worth it, I think. Even if I fix all the things, maybe the motor will just all of a sudden crap out on me. So I'm just gonna keep running this until it dies and then scrap it. At least I have already the new mixer on its way. But sorry guys, I got a bit off topic again. So about size wise, yeah, this is the biggest bore I've ever done, but not by much. That used to be my biggest concrete job I've ever done, but now it's on the second place. The cabin foundation. And that was a pretty decent bore as well. And maybe even some of you remember when I made this video, and yeah, the concrete wall is about 1/2 meter thick on the foundation, and on this side of the building the wall extends 2 meters underground. So just imagine 2 meters going underground, a concrete wall. It's a lot less tall on that end, but still about a meter there. However, we can safely say that the cabin is not my biggest concrete job to date anymore. Now it's this guy. But you know, let's talk about the quality a bit. That's definitely a subject to discuss about. Now I know it's not the best stuff in the world. Probably can't even give it a C rating, right? Maybe it's like C negative something. But dude, still, that's good enough for me. Now I know that the mix was too watery, it's too slushy. I needed rocks. I needed more rocks in my sand mix. Something with pointy ends would be a preferable option. But you know, in my defense, I would say that watery or more slushy mix, it's a lot easier to work with than with this thick stuff. And in my experience, which I've had for about, well, ever since 2011, it's when I started making my own mix. Through that experience, I would say that the mix is good enough, at least for me. Now, I made a huge amount of material through that mixer, and they're still all good. I mean, we can quickly go. No, man, let's go check it out. The first mix I've ever made. I present you the sauna. The sauna foundation, guys, is the first major concrete job that I ever made. And it was also about 12 years ago when I got the mixer.
And it's still here. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere anytime soon. It works. It's not cracked. It's not.
Yeah, it works. And that breach as well. And there was a breach here before, but it was kind of falling apart. So I just poured everything over with some concrete. I fixed that one up nicely, and it's been over 10 years now for this bridge. I drive the bobcat over it, the tractor over it, the Yanmar over it. No cracks. Everything feels solid. Even still has the paw marks from whatever animal who liked wet concrete at the time, I guess. And yeah, I think this will stay here for a really long time. At least so far everything looks solid. In addition to the foundations, I also made all the floors inside sauna, inside that shed, inside the main house. And just last year I finished this side of the building. I bought a new foundation for it, or at least a new face for it. And yeah, I think it's fine now. So yeah, I'm gonna probably get a lot of comments about this mix being, well, nonsense or something like that. But dude, it works for me. It has worked for me, and it will continue working for me. Now that I actually think about it, there is this one spot which kind of underperforms, and that's where the Super Sister parks her Batmobile. I think it was 2 years ago now. Was it 2 years ago? I can't remember, but some time ago I did rebore this whole surface because this side was just considerably damaged. And as you can see, yeah, the Super Sister parks her daily driver there, and I think it's the salt from the roads. It kind of destroys the surface layer, and then water just kind of freezing water does the rest, I guess. Now, I did not treat this concrete with anything, but you guys told me I should do that. This stuff. Yep. Now you're supposed to coat this on the concrete, and it will kind of make it dust proof and also protect the surface layer, I guess. I did try this at the workshop, but the workshop concrete floor ended up being a complete catastrophe. I mean, I don't know. It's manageable at the moment, but what I did wrong was pretty obvious. Here's a little hint. I have a lot of these holes all over the place. Different sizes. There's even, I think, like caves under my floor somewhere. And you know, the issue is me. Or rather, the time I chose to make this project, which was still winter time. And when I was making the mix inside this room, I hauled the sand from outside, but the sand was not fully unfrozen yet. There was these small frozen chunks or balls of sand. And although I used hot water inside the mixer, it would not dissolve those balls. And those sand balls ended up in the mix. And after everything unfroze, I just ended up with a bunch of holes in the floor. So yeah, this was my fault. Totally regret doing that. But you know, I'm not really sure how to even fix that. There's like probably like 1,000 holes in this entire floor, sadly. Whoops. But you know, luckily this time I took a little bath once the winter came back, and I just went and did something else. So we should not have that issue with this pad. But guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this up now. I'm gonna let the thing cure for a bit. I promised I'm gonna finish everything, but dude, I think we're already like 3 hours or something like that. So But in the next video I probably will build that ramp and try to figure out the water collection system. And maybe some other stuff as well. Not sure at the moment. Now I'm gonna do a little pause from this project, but actually I do wanna continue as soon as possible. However, first I have to go do a bit of logging. Yeah, I know, but the stuff that Santa has been cutting up in the forest, I have to actually go pick that stuff up before it's too late. And I also need to plant a bunch of trees. Kinda getting late on that matter also. Okay, bye.